Hey, what's up guys? This is FatalCubes here, and in this video we will be finishing the play panel. So technically after this video is over, the game should be playable, but because we've gone so many episodes without testing it, there may be a few things here or there that I forgot to add in, and it might not be fully functional, so I will go and find all its issues before we run it, and I'll make sure that it is up and running by the end of the video. So what else do we have to add in the game panel or the play panel? Well, we need to make it so that it draws all the scores and stuff at the top, as well as it'll draw the game over screen when you die. So let's go ahead. It's all drawing code mostly for this part of the video. Let's create a new method, private void draw GUI. So this method, really you could stick this in the regular render method, but I decided to separate it out for organizational purposes. And so first we're going to format the times. Alright, so time F is going to be equal to draw utils dot format time scores dot get time. Alright, as you can see, this draw utils does not have a format time method, and that is where we're going to stick it. So open up your draw utils, and one moment guys, just going to check this out, just make sure it's the same method. Alright, let's go ahead to the game board and let's find that format. Alright, right here, we're just going to take everything, private string, format time, all the way down to the very bottom, copy it, and we're just going to go ahead and head over to the draw utils function, and let's just paste it in, select it all, and then on your keyboard, hit the keys Control plus the question mark. That will comment everything back in and make it a public string. Alright, now we should have no issues in the play panel class anymore. Draw utils, we got to import that. And what else? Can I make a state to the non-static method? Yep, so just make this static, because this is a utility function. So anyone can use this function. It formats the time. It should be used anywhere that anyone wants to do it. And I'm just going to format things so everything lines up nicely. And let's go back to the play panel. Oh, and if you don't know, formatting is Control Shift and F. So that will format your code, get rid of unneeded spacing, add in spacing where it's necessary, fix all the lines and whatnot. It's pretty awesome. If you couldn't guess, best time format is going to follow the same format time scores.getBestTime. Alright, now that we've formatted, it's time to draw everything. Let's first grab the graphics 2D of our info buffered image. Remember, this is the buffered image that we created up top, that is 200, or the full width and 200 height. This is just going to sit at the top, and we just made a buffered image for organizational purposes. So we're going to draw to the buffered image and then draw all the buffered image to the top of the screen. Alright, so graphics 2D, we're going to get that. I'm going to create some space here just so I can put this in the middle. We're going to set the color to white because we got to clear the background. That's always a priority. Then we fill it rect. That's 0, 0, info.getWidth and info.getHeight. Clear it. Now let's go ahead and set the color to light gray. Alright, and all we're going to do is say gt.setFont to score font. We're going to draw a string. that plus scores dot get current score. The X position is going to be 30 and the Y position is going to be 40. We're going to then set the color to color.red. And I'm changing this because I'm OCD. It's actually going to be light gray like that. I don't know why, it was just bugging me. Everything else was lowercase, so I'll just fix that. We're going to draw a string. And here we're going to put best colon plus scores dot get current top score game dot width minus draw utils dot get message width of our best plus scores dot get current top score, and the font is going to be score font G2D, score font G2D, and that's all going to be subtract 20 comma 40. So yeah, this is one big line of code. Let's just stick this down one. So what is that all going to do? So I kind of just typed this out, but let me explain it. We're going to draw a string best plus the best score, but because we want to align it on the right side, to calculate the X value, we're going to take the edge of the screen, which is the game.width. We're going to subtract the width of the message, and then we're going to subtract an extra 20 pixels for spacing on the side and put the Y value at 40. Alright, I hope that makes sense. We're going to do the exact same thing for the fastest time. Still in that red color. We're going to do fastest. And we're going to do plus best time that's formatted already. And this is going to be game.width minus draw utils dot get message width of same thing, fastest colon plus best time formatted. The font's gonna be the score font G2D minus 20 and 40. Alright, and actually it's gonna be at 90 because we don't want to put it right on top of the other one, so we're gonna shift it 50 down. Now lastly, we're gonna go ahead and set the color to black, and then we're gonna draw the string. And this time we're going to use the string time. So this is going to display the current time. So this is going to be plus time formatted, and the X position is going to be 30, the Y is going to be 90. So the Y position for the times are each 90, and the Y position for the scores are each 40. You can make these variables if you want, but the occurrence is only twice, so you don't really need to, and I'm not going to. Next, we're going to go ahead and dispose of this graphics because we're no longer using it. And then we're going to take our main graphics and we're going to draw the image info at 0, 0, null. That's going to take the image we just drew to with the updated results to the main graphics elements. This is of the entire screen. Alright. Let's head down here and do some more drawing. We got to go ahead and draw the game over screen. So public void draw game over graphics 2DG. This method probably can be private, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be public for a reason, but I'm not sure anyways. First of all, we're going to set the color to a new color. And we're going to pick a light gray. So it's going to be 222, 222, 222 alpha. Now if you don't know, any gray can be composed by just taking the same number, and this would create a perfect gray. So 000 is black, and 255, 255, 255 is white. But if you take like 90, 90, 90, that would be a darker gray, or 150, 150, 150 would be a lighter gray. And this is, as you can probably tell, a very light gray. We're trying to create a fade-in effect. Sort of a darkening effect, and like I've said before, it looks pretty derpy, so This is something that you may not want to do exactly. You can play around with the graphics afterwards. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, we're going to cover the entire screen with this. Then we're going to set the color to color.red. And then we're going to draw the string game over. Because you just lost the game. Because you're probably terrible. And we're going to say game over exclamation point just to rub it in your face. Alright, game.width divided by 2 minus draw utils. The same center function that we've been using for everything. Take half the width and subtract half the width of the message. Game over. Font's going to be the game over font. And we're going to use G. We're going to divide that by 2 and put it at 250. Alright. Now, I do believe that we need to call g.setFont. I'm trying to see if I called it anywhere else. Alright, well, we might as well stick it in there. Seems like an error. We're going to set the font to game over font. Alright. Next, go ahead and create your update function. And we're just going to call board.update. Because remember, this is keeping track of the board. And we're just going to do if board.isDead. Then we're going to add to the alpha, darkening it. If alpha is greater than 170, then that's already too dark. And we're just going to set alpha back to 170. So it'll never go, it'll always correct itself if it goes above 170. And that's all we need for updating. The final method that we need, and just add an @override annotation, because it is important to mark that this is overriding the update function in the GUI panel class. So yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and render graphics 2D G. Again, this is another @override. And in here, we're going to first draw the GUI. Then we're going to render the board. Now we got to do something. So if the screenshot is true, so if you have screenshotted, then we got to create a temporary buffered image. And the reason we're doing this after rendering the board and rendering the GUI is so that it'll take a picture of those things, but if you've lost the game, it won't take a picture sort of your dead screen. So it is imperative that you put this where it is. Alright, we're going to do game.height and buffered image.type _int_RGB. Alright, let's grab the graphics. This is the same thing we've been doing for a long time now. It should be fairly obvious now. bi.getGraphics. Okay. We're going to set the color to white. We're then going to fill the rectangle. 0, 0. Game.width. Game.height. Next, we're going to go ahead and redraw the GUI to it. So my mistake, we're not actually taking a picture of the screen right now. We're actually going to draw the GUI to this, so it's sort of double rendering. And we can afford, and we're going to use G2D. We can afford to do this because this operation is only happening once. You're really not going to hit render screenshot a bunch of times. All right, now we got to put this in a try catch. All right, e.print stack trace. So we've drawn the information that we want to draw to this temporary image, and now we're going to save it to the desktop. So let's do image.io.write. All right, that's going to take in a buffered image. We're going to put it in GIF format, and we're going to put it as a new file under system.getProperty. User.home. So this will work on all operating systems. Plus, and then plus in parentheses double backslash desktop, comma, screenshot, and then we're going to do plus system.nanotime plus .gif. Alright, so let's go over this. We're going to write our missing parentheses probably. There we go. So we're going to write this new image that we've created that holds the information we want as a GIF format under a new file on our system. And this system.get property is a really great way for Java to find out where the user's home is. Then we're going to add on desktop with double backslash. This will put in the backslash character and we'll create an extension, so it will be the user's home slash the desktop. And then we're going to name it the screenshot plus a random number. This is essentially a random number, so we're just doing system.nanotime plus .gif. This will almost never, I can guarantee this will never be the same. So you don't want screenshots to override each other, and that's one way of doing it. You could have a random number generator, but just make sure that the random number generator is generating a pretty random number. Like, don't do a random number generator from 0 to 10. Do something from like 0 to a kajillion. Alright. Afterwards, we're just going to set screenshot to false, because we don't want this to repeat. Okay. If the board is dead, we got to render. We have to do this thingy. We have to set up the game over screen. So this added variable is just a boolean to keep track of if we've already added the buttons to the panel. And so added, we're going to say added equals true right off the bat, because we don't want to do it twice. Otherwise, we'd be adding multiple instances. We're going to add the main menu. We're going to add the screenshot, and then we're going to add try again. Alright. After that, we're going to draw the game over. G. And after all of that, we're going to call at the very bottom super.renderG. Alright. This will render the buttons last and put them on top. So I think that is it for the game panel class. It's all set up. I'm going to get rid of this white space here. How long did that take? Alright, not bad. So this is it. All the drawings done, all the code's done. I'm going to go cut the video right now, test it out, find any errors, mark them down, and report back to you guys to see what happens, what works, and what doesn't. See you guys then. Hey guys, I'm back, and after about like 15 minutes of testing around, you can probably tell by what time it is. I figured out all the bugs. There's about 3 bugs that were messing up the game, as long as like what I found out. I essentially won the game. I made sure everything saved correctly, everything, nothing double saved. I also lost the game after, made sure the game over screen, and there's a few bugs here and there. First one is the button height was set to nothing. So the buttons on the game over screen, you couldn't click on them, they were essentially nothing. So just set that to 50. Alright, once the button height's set to 50, go all the way down to, was it in here? Yep, right here. I was drawing the fastest time wrong. It was get message height. I think the autocorrect, the auto fill in, I was just typing get message and I never filled in the width part, so it just reverted to height. So if you ran it, you probably noticed that, and there's the fix there. The last fix, and this could be tricky to solve, is the set time method here. Okay, so if you don't add the time plus the starting time, you're gonna get issues. Essentially, the game board doesn't keep track of whatever time you're starting it. The game board just tells you how much has elapsed since the game has started. If the game, if you save the game with 42 seconds into the game board doesn't know that. It always starts from 0. So it's the score manager's job to take the starting time and add it onto the time given by the game board. So if the starting time is 42 seconds and 3 seconds have passed, the total time is 45 seconds. Before, this part wasn't here and it would just be 3 seconds. So I hope you understand that, and if you run it, you can play it. So just go to the play. If you guys find any bugs, please let me know. I will fix them for you by the next video. Anyways, hit play here. Alright, here you go. I played a game, got 2048. The time saved, the score saved, best. The time saved, that's the fastest. If you hit screenshot, takes a little bit. Head over to my desktop. Oh, what is this? Let's open this with photo gallery. Sure, why not? There we go. There's the screenshot completely saved. You can share this with anyone you want. And the name, as you can see, is pretty randomized. You can rename it to high score or something like that. Let's open that back up. Hit try again. We're going to try again. And it seems like there are some errors here. J component concurrent modification exception. 4 buttons b.mouse released. Alright, so what's happening is we're having errors right now. Essentially, we used a modified for loop here. The ones that go, instead of going for int I and using counter, we just went for gooby button b and buttons. And it seems like as it's looping through these buttons, things are getting removed from the screen. Now, this is no big deal in terms of it will still function, but it is something to look into. I'm not going to fix it in this video because I think you guys are capable of fixing it, and I don't remember this problem happening previously, but you can do one of two things. Essentially, right here, mouse released, all events caused by Java are run on a separate thread. So what's happening is just as I was removing the buttons, it switched threads and decided, oh, we got to do a mouse release, and now it's going through and saying, wait a second, things were removed when they shouldn't have been removed, and we're getting errors. So the way to fix this is you can lock the thread if you know how to do that, so that one thing, make sure that the buttons are removed, and you can do that by going into Score Manager. No, it's got to be the play panel. Essentially right here where we're removing this. Alright, it's a bit more complicated than I thought. We're just going to leave it at that. Sorry I don't have an answer for you guys. This issue was not happening in my other game, so I don't know how to fix it on the spot. I'll check in on it a little bit later, and if I come up with a solution, I'll get you guys back in the next video. Until then, enjoy playing the game and saving your high scores and whatnot.